Hello, how are you? This is Lilou Jane and I'm here to do a Ascension Mysteries energy update reading, and it's for the collective, and we're in the month of May, the 8th of May. So this reading accompanies a lot of solar influxes coming to our magnetic field in our planet, a lot of solar storms and coronal mass ejections are happening at the moment. We're like in a season of coronal mass ejections, each one delivering ascension waves directly to our planet, and we are calibrating and absorbing them as we speak. Right now it is definitely a time of an influx from the sun. So what's happening at the moment for us? I am shuffling a deck while I talk to you. Just so you know, the deck I'm shuffling, we've got the Mermaid Oracle, that's what it looks like on the back, and we have the Gods and Titans deck as well. And they merge together to make my super deck that I use. So apart from that, let's get back to the actual Ascension information reading, which is coming through as an update. So yes, we are in a solar flare season at the moment, and we're receiving a lot of updates coming through to us through that. We're also in a heavy time and a confusing time in the ether that we live in, the energy field we live in. We are bombarded at the moment, and it is always a ramped up bombardment that they do. They ramp it up to compete with the ascension coding that's coming through. The ascension energies are coming through, and they're coming through, they're saturating our body and our entire world around us, and the energies are coming into us. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about what you need to do about the ascension energies coming in. Now, for some people, the energies will come in and they'll be inside you like a swirling mass of extra energy, extra frequencies, and you will feel a bit funny. You might feel some of your chakras getting a little bit stimulated. You will feel the need maybe to focus on your base chakra. And what we're recommending, you might feel your heart chakra, and we're recommending that you notice where you're feeling the energies, sort of extra energy in your body, and focus on grounding those energies into you. How we would recommend the guides, this is what they do with me. This is how they get me through those moments, because I get really busy, I get really focused on the things I have to do, and I need to be guided to stop and calibrate and absorb and integrate. Just like you, just like I'm doing for you, I have to be stopped from being busy because I feel it's like I've got to achieve things, but I've got to stop. And this is what they tell me to do. I lay down on the ground outside if I can, even if it's cement, it's okay. If that's the best you've got, that's fine. It's still in contact with the energy of the earth, the energy field, and the vibrating energy coming through. Lay down on the ground. Grass is better, excuse me. Sorry, there's man next door's burning stuff today and smoke has come in the house. If he wasn't, I would be outside talking to you right now. Try and get outside as much as you can. Try and even step out the door. Try and get outside. Lay down on the ground if you can. Get your feet on the ground if you can't lie on the ground. And try and enjoy the outside weather. Now, I know some places it's winter. It's winter here in the north of Queensland in Australia. And there's sometimes this beautiful spring and summer, and sometimes it's just jolly hot outside. But do your best to get out at some time in the day and do that earthing. They're also saying to me a highly ideal time for you to do this is at the dawn. So when the sun is rising and just before it has risen. So when the light is starting to hit the sky and change the color of the sky, but it hasn't risen above the horizon yet, that's when you should go out. If you're awake, go out then. Get your feet on the grass. Have a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you like in the morning. They said tea is best first thing in the morning. Or ideally, at this time, with COVID effects and other things and other chemicals and toxins and things that you have to deal with that are extra ramped up at the moment, lemon water with a little honey, like warm water, hot water with some lemon juice, fresh lemon juice and honey, and drink that for your morning starter. And that's going to help to balance your alkalinity in your body, which helps you to combat all the effects of inflammation caused by COVID and other diseases and viruses and the pollution, and we could just go on, couldn't we? So in order to balance yourself and calm your body and soothe the alkalinity factor, keep the alkalinity in check, in focus, drink your lemon water as you stand on the grass, hopefully, or the earth, or your astroturf, whatever it is that's touching in contact of layers that's no rubber insulation. Try and be close to the earth as you can, and or in water, if you've got a waterway near you, a stream, a creek, a dam, pool, that's really good too. And watch the sunlight, that light that's coming up over the horizon when the sun has not yet risen is golden, beautiful light that's got lots of wonderful healing, balancing frequencies that are gently absorbable in your eyes, coming through into your eyes and into your mind, and that's wonderful calibrating energy to start your day. So do that if you can, as a starting prerequisite of every day when you're going through this great shift that we're going through. You need to have self-care, a self-care mode, they said, a self-care protocol. It's simple and it's basic, but you mustn't forget you. You need to anchor you, cuddle you up, and look after you. You need to do some of these things. Now, if you're not an early riser and you don't want to get up before the sun, get up when you can. And even in the shade, you're still absorbing the light. Once the sun's up and he's really doing his job and he's really radiating toward us, we're getting it, don't worry. So calibrate and allow it to find its place to reside within your body. So my chair squeaks and I've just started squeaking just now. So calibrate. Lay down on the grass if you can, or sit in a chair or sit on a step with your feet on the ground, and allow your body to truly relax. You need to be supported. You need to be in a chair where you can just relax, or laying on the ground. On a towel's fine. Don't have rubber between you and the ground. That's all. Rubber is insulating and it stops the flow of electrons. And we're dealing with electrons here. Excuse me. So smoke, I'm very sensitive to all those things. There's smoke from the neighbour, bothers my throat. So back where we were, relaxing, letting go. Allow your guides to come in and help calibrate you and ground and earth your energies into you, and you're grounding and earthing yourself into the earth as well. So it's a sequence. Ask your guides to please help to calibrate your angels, guardian angels, guides. Please come and calibrate my energies into my body and help ground them into where they should be, please. And for my greater good, always. Always put that one in. So lay there if you can. Feel the energy. Now the energy, just relax now, just let go and give it time to work. Allow it to come through. And you may feel that it comes into your heart or into your base chakra or your sacral chakra or your solar plexus chakra. And you may even need to have a little bit of a shake and a shiver. You may feel it like a little bit of the energy shift can make your body go. So that's okay. Don't hold your body down from doing that. Allow your body to shake it in, so to speak, or convulse it in a little bit. You may feel a bit odd. You may want to do this alone, but you need to allow your body to do that movement of settling in, because your body is integrated with your chakras. It's not separate. It's a part of it. And this energy has to earth into your cells. It has to earth into you. It has to ground into you. You ground then into Gaia, who already has all the ranges of frequencies. So that's what you need to do, to ground in, to calibrate in the energies that are coming to you right now. So that's one aspect of what you need to do. That's going to help you cope with everything better. It's going to help you get your mind back to the happier time, happy state that you like, your happy place. At the moment, it's not easy to be in the happy place. A lot of people are finding it very difficult to be in the happy place. In fact, a lot of people who are more mature, say 50 plus, over 40, some of them are actually finding it hard to stay anchored in this realm. That's because they were born into a whole different frequency range, and the shift for us older people is a big deal to do. It's a big thing. We are shifting our bodies and calibrating our cells, our atoms, up to a new frequency level while we're still alive here. And our energy field has to do all this work, and our energy field's going in and out and in and out and in and out. It's just, it's something on your physical. It's something on your brain. It's something for your mind, your body, your brain to have to deal with. And we are tired and we lose focus because it's a big thing we're doing. And we lose track of purpose. And on top of all of that, relationships don't have the same dynamic and settled groundedness that they used to have. So we start to feel like, what am I doing here? What's my life purpose? What's my anchor points in my life? It's not always the same now. Everything is losing its impetus. Everything's losing its value in your life that it used to have. It's changing. And that's happening to everybody. But for the people who are a little bit older, who are still thinking that it should be like it was in the past, it's a tricky changeover. And finding value in oneself, value in the reason to be here in this, let's face it, very sucky time. It's not fun. It's hard. And value when we don't seem to function like we used to. Even though there's nothing apparently wrong with us, we seem to not be able to function. That's because we're doing all this bringing in of energy and calibrating, coming in, incoming energy. You got to wrap yourself in cotton wool now. You got to love yourself, nurture yourself, give yourself the break. Get out and ground in on the earth and let those, and ask your guardian angels to get those energies that are coming into you and getting absorbed by you to anchor, anchor into place. Excuse me again. Let the energy shake through you, like that. Just let it go through. Welcome the energy, let it go through. Don't fight the energy. You can't fight it. You've got to let it calibrate in and settle in like little blocks, all sorting themselves out and settling into where they fit. That's what you've got to do. Okay, that's what you need to do to look after you. Go to bed early. Cut yourself slack and don't beat up on you. No matter what, don't beat up on you. It's not appropriate. You're not taking everything into account when you do that. Give yourself a break. And don't get caught up in dramas or relationships that seem to be disintegrating or have no longer got connections. Don't get resigned to the fact that it's this or it's that. Just let it sit there and leave it be. Because once you get through this stage, things can change a lot for everybody. Don't forget, everyone's going through it. Of course, young people, they don't have to change as much. They don't have the same depth of timeline of different frequencies. Some young people born after 2008 were already starting in this cyclic shift, was already starting in 2008. So, and young people born even anyone who's born after that 1988, it was already starting to roll forward. It's slow. It was slow. It got faster and faster, but they weren't in the same paradigm as you, and they're all going through a slightly different version of this, but still going through it. So if you're a young person watching this, don't feel disenfranchised in my video. You're still, all my advice absolutely stands rock solid for everyone. In fact, my 11-year-old feels the shift greatly. He's a very sensitive, empathic star child, and he really feels it. So he comes home and he says, "Mum, I haven't felt right today. Has it been a solar flare day, Mum? Has it?" He checks with me, and he's right. There has been. He knows when it is. He feels it, and he gets straight out there on the grass and lays down when he gets home from school, and plays with the dogs and plays with his chickens. He has pet chickens, and he lays on the grass and comes back feeling revitalized, revived, refreshed. And you can see he's smiling, he's feeling better, and he just knows to do it. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you need to do that. And he's born in 2011. He is just a child, but going through it and needs to get out. So all children should be out on the grass, out in the garden, not in the full sun, of course. You don't want to get sunburn. The sunburn levels and the UV levels are up as well. So you've got to choose your times. No need to burn your skin. As early morning is the golden time, the best time. The guides say that early morning is wonderful, special time for collecting and soaking up solar rays that are really, really full of the best high vibrational stuff. Okay, hope that was good, guides. So, yep. I still got the energy shaking down my spine. I had to go out and lay out there today, because if you don't, you can fall into a depression. So we've talked about that. I haven't talked about, so I've got to tell you, they brought this card out just now, wave of power. That's what's coming at you, a wave of power. You've got to let the energy, the powerful energy, run through you. But there is also an interference, and I think I've already mentioned it a little bit. In the etheric field, there is a ramping up of the synthetic mindset codes and emotional codes. So in our shared entity pool of the planet, our shared mental body. So the energy field, the etheric field, is like a shared mental and emotional body that we share together, energy body. And we're all in it. Oh, doesn't sound very nice, does it? No, well, it isn't, because it's a pretty crappy situation. It's pretty stressful and lots of difficulties, and you can't disconnect from every other person on the planet. Whether you know it or not, it's subtly connecting to you. Now, it's not always that subtle at the moment. So there are these AI beings in the fourth density, which is where the etheric energy is, the etheric field, the energy field of the planet, and they are pumping out energy codes, thoughts, emotions. They're all synthetically reproduced, but they can do that. They have the technology to do that, and they're pumping it out there. And where did they get all that from? They got it from our own history, from our own memories, from our own thoughts. The matrix that is in total information gathering of everything that we do, just like Google and Facebook do. Just like Google and Facebook, where'd they learn it from? Our world is being observed from an analytical point of view, so that we can be have our emotions and thoughts and feelings reproduced. So they reproduce and they throw it out there, but it's not happy stuff. It's the hard work stuff. It's the downer stuff. It's the negative stuff. It's the memories of another life and another time when we were in hardship and struggling. Those energies are getting pumped out into the etheric energy field at the moment. So people are feeling out of character. They're feeling inclined to depression when in their mind, they don't feel like they really have a reason to be. It's out of sync with everything else, but it's still like an energy that's overlaying you. Now, you've got to be aware of that what I just told you to do with the earthing, the grounding, and integrating the energy that's coming from the sun, that's the remedy. There is a remedy to this. And when you've come back from doing that, you're going to have a clearer mind. You're going to feel better. So if you're feeling down, depressed, challenged, you feel like your life's too hard, too much stress, everything feels negative, get outside. I don't care if you're in the snow. You got to get out. You got to get on that earth. You got to get yourself grounded. You got to calibrate and get your guides and angels to help you calibrate and anchor in the energies into the right part of your body where it's needed, not floating around and waiting for you to acknowledge and receive it. That's what's happening. You got to receive it. You got to claim it. You got to take it in and put it in the right spot. Your guides and angels help you do it. Do that. Get on the earth. Collect and gather to the earth and join with her, merge with her energy, which is already in 5 and 6D very strongly, and clean that crap out of your system. Let it go and clean it out and get yourself back, calibrated back. Ecstasy. Dionysus. Ecstasy is on the way. What you're going to feel with this wave of power. You could feel great ecstasy with this wave of power. That's what it can offer you. That's what you can have, but you've got to receive it. You've got to claim it, take it, calibrate it, and anchor it in. It's not that hard. You've got a whole team around you to help you do it, but you've got to be willing to shake it in there and have a little bit of a body shake and let it sink in there. It is a physical as well as an energy aura system that you're working with. Okay, get that. And you got to have confidence that there's a positive to what you're doing. But if you don't claim it, anchor it, and put it in, then you're leaving yourself open to all these synthetic energies. It's time for you to discover that the cycles, at the moment we have a full moon where we are. It was really energetic last night. I had a lot of trouble getting to sleep. Couldn't sleep until 2 o'clock in the morning because the energy was just really wild. And the moon is broadcasting energy to the dark side of the planet even after the sun has gone round to the other side. So you're not really getting much of a reprieve at the moment. Also, the solar flares are hitting the planet spot on direct right now. So there's no reprieve right now. It's intense. So you've got to do these self-care things. Try and lighten your load with food, they said. Don't go too heavy on the food, but have light little increments of food and try having some just some soup and toast or something like that for dinner. That's just, that heartwarming, makes you feel good, but it's light, it's not too heavy. Don't overdo heavy food when all this is happening. It's hard for your body to digest it and work. So many electrons and protons and other different factors are happening. They're all hitting you. The magnetic field is already saturated, and now it's getting another big bunch of stuff coming in from the sun, and it's going to come to ground and it's going to come to us. We're like little lightning rods and we're going to receive it. So run it through, anchor in. You got to anchor in the good stuff you want from this solar energy, the light codes, the upgrades. Anchor them in because they're upgrading your DNA. That's good, but you've got to do the work to make it work properly, to anchor in properly. Bit of yoga, if you can do yoga, brilliant. If you can do some exercise, brilliant. Get everything moving and don't forget to ground. Okay, this is the lunar cycle thing. Farewell to the moon. When the moon's not giving you a full moon, it'll be easier because you get a break at night. But at the moment, like here I am in Queensland, we had a full moon last night. That was a doozy. Okay, that's what else have we got? It's all a part of your great life journey, right? This is about your life journey in Rama, about your life journey. It's all a part of it. There are cycles coming and going. The great wave of energy is coming to you. It is an ecstatic, wonderful energy. Now, the card for travel has come. And that's under the wave of power, which could pretty well represent in this, yes, In comes the solar energy from the sun. The sun is traveling to you. He's coming to visit. Under the wave of power comes the travel. And underneath the ecstasy comes the magic of the Kohen truth, which is about secrecy and caution and keeping things to yourself. And that's what you need to do. You need to have that attitude for you, for yourself. Keep things to yourself. Keep your happiness locked in. You've got to create a bubble of me zone, a me zone bubble. Let it just snuggle in there. Wrap yourself in cotton wool when you're looking after yourself and you're just taking it slow. You're being quiet. You don't need to talk too much. You don't need to eat too much. Just have little nibbles and just, if you feel like eating something, then have it. But don't overdo it and don't fit into anyone else's schedule. You're wrapping yourself up in care. That's what you need to do. Okay, because what you're discovering is the energy of war that's coming. That is, that is what I've been telling you about with the codes, the synthetic emotions that are saturating the energy field. And if you have bad dreams and weird dreams, it's all to do with that. Okay, anchoring down. So they're trying to anchor you down into negative emotions and feelings. So this is about objects and material, the material world being gathered and used as a point of anchoring something down. So when you have religious relics, for example, religious relics have energy in them and they're special because they've got the energy of a saint in them or a Buddha. Saints or Buddhas, that's it. Jesus with the cloth of the shroud and things like that. So they're energized material objects. So what's trying to happen here? You're a material object and you're getting energized for the sun's energy. You're getting energized for an uplift, an upgrade. The whole planet is. But also to combat that, those that would prefer it not to have a high frequency energy and for everyone to stay in a kind of dumbed down, yes sir kind of mentality, following what we're told to do, they are creating a synthetic warlike bombardment. And they've done other things that we could all reach in and think about that would be to do that as well. To anchor us down. So what are you anchoring down? Are you anchoring down the sun's gorgeous upgrading energy? Or are you anchoring down misery, depression, and the feeling of low self-esteem and that everything is wrong? If you keep on experiencing that and you accept that experience for long enough, you'll start to replay it yourself. That's what they're hoping. That's what the guides are saying now. They want you to experience this bombardment of entrainment. It's like brainwashing you. All night long you're getting hit with this and in the day. So they'll just keep hitting you with these suggestions of how you should feel. That's what these synthetic codes of feelings are. They'll keep hitting you with it. And you know, a lot of it comes with frequencies. We are absolutely bombarded with all sorts of frequencies like, 5G, 4G and other frequencies they don't talk about. All of those affect your mind and your body and your emotions and your nervous system. Now, if all of this bombardment keeps hitting you, at some point you could start to run it yourself. You could start to play that programming yourself. You need to be aware. You need to make a firm decision not to be entrained and to be conditioned to become what is not for your greater good. That's what this card is about. And it comes under the cycles. So right now, we've got the cycles of the moon. Then we've got what are you anchoring down? Time and tide comes under the great journey. And this is about the power of ocean spells and rituals. And that's what's going on at the moment. And you're in the middle of a battle. It's a battle for the mind and energies of all the humans on the planet. You have to understand that. You need to know you're a part of, you're a subject of a battle. And you need to decide whether you're going to be in that battle. And then the telepathy card has come out. And it's about breathing in, and breathing out and sharing in of energy, and that's where you are. So this is representing in this reading the etheric field. So you're taking in all the world around you. Now you need to be more discerning, and that's this Cohen Druth is a lot about being discerning, being aware and cautious. You've got to understand that you're a subject of interest. Every single one of us is. And that's a big word, guys. You've got to learn how to negate the conditioning, the programming that's being attempted. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not that hard. I already told you about some good things you can do that already get you back to you, to being centered with you in your chakras, your heart energy field, your body. You've got to be in the present. These synthetic energies, the stress, and let alone those, there's the real stress that's created by all the violence, wars and catastrophes that are happening. That alone is in saturating the energy field, the etheric field as well. So, geez, you know, you are being bombarded. It's time to recognize it, that you are, and you're better off not watching too much of the news. You don't need to add more to your load as it is. You're already oversaturated with negativity and a lack of hope in the world. So you've got to turn that around and change it. Be in the present moment and look around you and find the things that are good and get your balance right in your mind. That's how you do it. That comes under the Cohen Druth and ecstasy, and that's about you bringing the ecstasy in rather than the negativity. Now, when it comes to discovery and Aries, came through the war energy, and now we've got being yourself, the Selkie and her skin, which is about being your genuine self, even though you're amongst those who are not the same as you. The Selkie and the self is about, and it's a story about these women who are actually half seal, and when they come from the ocean, and when they're back on the beach, they just put on their seal bodies and they merge in with their natural, native, wild self, and be their genuine self. And when they're on the land, they walk around, but they're pretending to be different than they are. So there's two elements here. The war element, right? The war element, this is coming under the war card. This is about, so we've got discovery. So what we're discovering. So society is in the process of discovering that there is an energetic war, a medical war, all sorts of things. Real war, physical, like weapons war, chemical war, biological war, all this stuff happening. And you're going, what the heck? And walking amongst us are those that are not being their genuine selves, and they're pretending to be something they're not. In our world, there are people pretending to be what they are not, and they are trying to influence our outcomes. They want to influence the outcome for us. Now, for ourselves, we've got to remember to get back to the present, come back to us, and remember that what other people are thinking and feeling in the etheric field isn't ours. You will feel stuff and think stuff that's not yours. You may start to feel down, depressed, unhappy. You may forget what happiness feels like. That's not you. You got to recognize it and isolate it over and say, look, I'm not going to take that as me. It's not you. It may be an experience you're having because you're in an etheric shared field, but it doesn't mean it's you. So you've got to make that awareness, choice and understanding by being in the present. Find yourself, come back to your authentic self, yourself. Sanctuary. Once again, so we've got the Cohen Druth, we've got the sanctuary, and that is about giving yourself space and pampering yourself, caring for yourself, looking after yourself and wrapping yourself up in cotton wool a little bit and checking back with you all the time. What do I need? How do I feel? How do I get through this day on a low-key way that nurtures and helps myself through? You need to do that all the time with yourself. Find your sanctuary and get your sanctuary within your energy field. And that's where you get your comfort. Retreat into that calm comfort, like chicken soup for the soul inside you. Okay? All right. And they're saying, yes, if you remember the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, Go get them and read them because they make you feel good. And that's what you need to balance against the negativity of the world. Fertility is where we're at. This is a very, very fertile time. And the reason we've got the war energy coming at us is because it's so fertile for the evolution of you as an individual and of society. And this fertile time is a part of your great journey through the universe, through lives, through time zones, times, different eras of life, of worlds, of different lives. And it's a part of your choosing. Now you got to choose your path. What are you choosing? What are you choosing to manifest? Manifestation is your thing. Are you going to let people tell you what to manifest? Or are you going to make your own decisions? Be in the present and find yourself. Okay? Be your authentic self and get your sanctuary space going. Keep yourself to yourself and don't let yourself be dragged away by all the misery, suggestions, the unpleasantness of the world, and all the dramas and issues that the politicians bring up to distract you. Facebook brings up, the news brings up. Be calm. Your fertility is at stake here. This woman's nurturing a beautiful baby, a new beginning, a new life. She's looking after it. She's nurturing it. You have to protect your fertile future of your rebirth into a higher frequency level, which is the remanifestation of every atom in your body. That's the rebirth of you. Now, if you're watching this, you probably believe in past lives and multiple lives. So every life, you're a gorgeous little baby. And that's you all the way through. You don't stop being that. It's just that your emanation shifts into the light beings, into the light energy field of this world. Your emanation shifts its outward appearance. I'm channeling now. Your outward appearance shifts and develops into an adult. It looks like it's developing into an adult, but the energy is the same. You are still the child. You are still the child. What does the child deserve? What does the child need? What would you give a beautiful child? Protection, love, care, and cherishing. You would want for that child to have its genuine, greatest truth and beauty to be preserved and protected. That's you. You are the child. The vision I've got is that it's like a hologram of the energy that births the child holographically. And we are holograms in a way. It's a kind of life. It's a way of living, of existing as a holographic life force, evolving and taking the steps to evolve into an appearance of an adult, but the child is still there. You've got to remember that. You are cherished, you are valuable, you are precious, and you are worth it. All the way you're worth it. You've got to remember that. Divination. You've got to allow yourself to see. You've got to allow yourself to breathe, to be. Allow yourself to be the full glory and beauty of who and what you are. Okay, guides, do we need any more? It's been a pretty full reading. You're going to need to watch this again several times to take it in properly. 3 more cards. Once again, they've said it again. Ready? Time out. Take some time out for yourself. Create space for yourself. Right? You don't need to engage with the whole world. And remember, love is the key. Fall in love. Oh, they said, fall in love with thee. Love is the key. Fall in love with thee, they said. Fall in love with you because you're glorious. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're exciting. And they want you to know that truth. Be the authentic you. And fall in love with you, love you, and nurture you. We don't mean it in that shallow, narcissistic, egocentric nonsense. We're not talking about that stuff, and we know you know that. So You know we mean the beautiful, glorious essence of the gorgeous child that you were born as. Anyone would fall in love with, because everyone falls in love with babies. That's because they got the gorgeous essence, not putting on the masks, putting on the holographic framework of presenting what others want them to look like and be like. That's the pure essence of your soul. Time to love it. Time to administer to it, they said. Administer to you, they said. Administer to your soul with love. Well, that is a very beautiful reading. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for liking the videos. It means a lot to me. Thank you for your subscribing. Thank you for checking in on the videos, keeping an eye on what's coming up that might be good for you. I'm so happy to bring this forward for you and share it. Thank you for joining us today. And with much love, much gratitude, and much reverence and respect for you, we hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.